So when you talk about selection of active managers, our focus is geared towards alternative investments themselves. Those 5 asset classes that we had learned in the previous lesson are the ones now we need to factor in. So we're saying that what is the criteria that you need to use so that you can be able to select active managers for alternative investments. So let's dive right in. Mention that the lack of transparency, the lack of transparency and unique strategies of many alternative investments, managers makes due diligence in manager selection crucial. So what are we saying? The lack of transparency, this is key, and unique strategies of many alternative investment managers makes the due diligence in manager selection very crucial. And we are saying that the factors that you need to consider or what you need to try and assess include, number 1, you need to assess the market opportunity. Assess the market opportunity. What are we saying under assessing the market opportunity? You try and evaluate or you try and gauge whether there is perceived mispricings within the alternative investments field or airspace. And if there's any mispricings or any opportunities that exist, arbitrage opportunities exist, then you should be able to try and enter into the market. So we're saying that what is the capability of the manager to try and assess the market opportunity that exists within alternative investments airspace? That is the first question you should ask yourself. The second question you should ask yourself, assess the investment process. Assess the investment process. That is the second very important point that you need to assess, to evaluate. Assess the investment process. Is it consistent with what you actually want as the investor? If that is the case, then you should be able to identify manager X, manager Y to meet your objectives of maybe earning excess return. The third very crucial point, number 3, is to assess the organization. Assess the organization. And while assessing the organization, we need to try and evaluate the structures within the organization. Is it at all structured like so, such that when a decision is made over here, at that point, before it reaches down over here, it takes so much time and it might also be distorted? That's what we are saying. Assess the organization. Assess the culture within the organization. So here, you try and assess the structure of the organization as well as the culture within the organization. Does it actually meet your objectives? If it doesn't, then you try and move on to other alternative investment portfolio managers. 4, assess the people. Assess the people. What are you meaning in terms of qualifications? The people who are managing alternative investments need to be qualified individuals. Preferably, they should be individuals who have registered with the Institute of Certified Investment and Financial Analysts here in Kenya. That's what you're saying. Are they qualified? And assess how the people actually treat their clients. That is a very key factor that you need to also consider while selecting active managers. Managers who are going to try and seek alpha on behalf of the investor. Number 5, assess the terms and the structure of the investment. Assess the terms and structure of investment and structure of the investment. We talk about assess. Sorry, this is not asset, assess. Pardon me. Assess the terms and structure of the investment. So the terms mean the fee arrangements. Do you have management fees, what we're calling ad hoc fees, or do they also have incentive fees? Do they charge that, or do they only charge assets under management or asset, what we call management fee alone? Then that is what you need to also try and assess. For portfolio management or for managing the funds on behalf of the investor, they need to charge a fee. Because remember, we're looking at it from the portfolio perspective. Portfolio perspective looks at risk and return jointly there. And so we need to assess the terms and the structure of the investment. How is the alternative investment structured? Because we're talking about, in our previous lesson, we talked about the structures that befall alternative investments. So we talked about regulatory structure, we talked about trading structure, security structure, compensation structure, and institutional structures. Those are the structures that we're actually trying to talk about over here. Does it actually meet your overall objective? Key question to ask yourself. Number 6 is the service providers. Service providers. Is it stable service providers? Who are the service providers? Do they have a good reputation? That is also something that you need to consider. Or do we have shoddy service providers that are supporting, or the support services that are provided by service providers in terms of the infrastructure used for trading alternative investments? If the service providers are not considered to be very high quality and very serious service providers, then of course it might challenges might actually spill over in terms of the quality of the quality of services that they actually offered, the quality of infrastructure. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. The quality of the infrastructure used for trading alternative investments might not yield the intended results for the client, for the investor. Number 7, talking about is it finally number 7, we say write up. And here, under write-up, you need to document this entire process. You need to document this entire process in form of a book, so that now you can consistently try and, for example, assess the market opportunity if it exists and does it meet your objectives. Then you assess the investment process. You proceed, you assess the organization, assess the people, you assess the terms and structure of the investment, the service providers, and so forth. And so that's why you say we need to write up in terms of the documentation. You need to document the entire process wholesomely.